back to my bathroom. This is episode 8 of the haircutting series. Today we're doing a 180, a long layered haircut. Meet Samantha. 4 basic quads. It doesn't matter if they part their hair to the right or the left or in the middle, you are using just a middle part for your 4 basic quads. If you need help sectioning, I'll pop a video up for you. We're gonna be taking pizza slices in the back 2 quads. On a diagram, here is our middle part in the back, and our subsections are going to be like this. It's a little triangle or a pizza slice. Meep, meep, whoa, meep. Kind of like a beach ball. Starting at the top, skinny, going to wide. Comb this back. Skinny, getting wide at the bottom. You do want to make sure that the bottom of your triangle is no thicker, not thicker than, I don't know, it's not bigger than your comb. This is an inch, so you can take it here. It should not go past an inch or the width of your comb. We're cutting at a 180, which means everything is up. This is 180 right here. Everything is going to be going up. 90 degrees, what we did previously, is right here. 45, which is a graduation or triangle, right here. And 0 degrees, which is your 1 length, is right here. So 180 is whoop, all the way up. When we cut, all the hair is directed up, 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 and we whoop, cut the top off. So remember, 180. So what does that mean for this hair? All of this is going to be directed up at 180 degrees. So I'm working in this beach ball or pizza slice. I'm actually gonna cut this in half right at the whatever the heck. Wide teeth at first, and then I'm gonna go through and refine it with my fine teeth. Going in with my crab claws, whoop, to the ceiling. See all the hair I'm cutting off? Cut. Can we try to cut a straight line today? Whoop. Recombing, following that line, it's going to be straight, parallel to the ceiling, parallel to the floor. This is a square layer. Now I'm gonna add this part to it. So we're gonna whoop, comb everything, make sure there's no stragglers. And again, it's 180 degrees, so it's not over here and it's not way back here. That's round layers, 90 degrees. It's up. There's my guide, and I'm just connecting the dots, connecting the line. I'm cutting mine pretty short, so I don't have any hair that's falling. But if you have hair that is falling or wants to fall, you're gonna wanna leave that. This part is your length. And a lot of times before you do this long layered haircut, you would cut a basic shape or a 0 degree haircut first, and then go through and do your 180 layers. Now take a look at this. Everything's at 180, it's square, parallel to the ceiling, parallel to the floor. And when you release this, it's long, going to short. I'm cutting mine pretty short, so it's gonna be up here, which is probably too short for a long layer. Obviously, if you want a longer layer, you're gonna cut less off. This is our guide. Look at it from the side. It can disperse to this whole haircut. So our first pizza slice right here, we're gonna take this little top off because it's really skinny, and we're gonna cut this pizza slice in half. This can go live over here. Now this is going to move to our next section. Here we go again with another pizza slice. Skinny at the top, wide at the bottom, keeping it thin though. You should be able to read a newspaper through it. Now this hair that we just cut is going to move and marry this one. That's our guide. Okay, we're gonna cut this in half. We're not wizards, we don't wanna get overwhelmed. Maximum tension, finding my guide, whoop, and I'm cutting against it. Not below, not way above, but against it. Now I'm gonna take this bottom and swing it all the way up here. Come on, sister. There's not much to cut. See how that's a straight line? Now we're gonna cross-check it the other way. You always cross-check the opposite way you cut. So we cut, oh, and I missed a piece. We cut this way, whoop, like this. So now we're gonna hold it this way. It should also be straight. So straight here, straight here. Now it just kind of repeats itself in the back. This is what we just cut. Cut this in half, put this to the other side, another pizza slice. The hair is always the same, what is it called? I don't know, I can't remember, but it's either wet or dry or in the middle, but it's always consistent. It's consistent. There you go. My guide is gonna swing on over here, cut it off at the occipital bone. No snags at the base, no tangles, everything looks good, parallel to the ceiling. There's my guide. Cut, cut, cut. straight line. Missed a piece, boop. This hair at the bottom, yeehaws it all the way up to the top at 180 degrees. Can you speak English? No. Because remember, we're saving length for long layers, so we over direct it because when we cut, it'll be long. Getting out any snags. Way up to the top, following my guide. All right, it's straight this way, straight this way. Same thing, cut this in half. Move all this to the other side. Another pie shape. Cut this in half. Here's the hair, there's my guide. Adding the rest of this at 180 degrees, maximum tension. There's just a little piece. Cut. It's straight this way, so it should be straight this way. Same thing, cut this in half. I have one piece over here in the back quadrant. Cut it in half. 180 degrees, straight up, parallel to the floor. I see my guide. Cut it, whoa, what's going on? I got some hair in there. Cutting against it, woo. Adding the bottom of this. And again, when you comb this to 180, you probably will have hair that will fall. It'll start falling out, let it fall. Do not make it or manipulate it to be in here. That's your basic shape, the length. I'm just cutting mine really short so you can see. Okay, we're at the bottom here. There's what I'm cutting off. Now this is the quad that I finished cutting. I'm gonna comb it all and make sure it's a straight line, parallel to the floor. Now we're taking it the opposite way, cross-checking it. This is her nose, so this is a side profile view. Should also be pretty straight. Check her out from the side. It's short, going to long, and it has a drop off of length because you over-directed this way up here. So it saves the length. How you move forward from this, whoa, what are you doing? Pie slice. Back in the middle with our guide. Away with this side. Clip it back. Pie slice. We're gonna have another pie slice here. It's following the head like a pizza, like a beach ball. Just in the back two quads. We're changing it up in the front. Skinny, go into long, but remember, we're not going past the width of our comb. That's an inch, 1 inch. Now this guide is gonna move here. Here to here, whoop. Cut this in half so we're not overwhelmed. Everything at a square, parallel to the ceiling, boop, horizontal, horizontal, finger position horizontal, cutting horizontal. Ooh, recombing. Now adding the length, this bottom part at the nape, making sure there's no snaggles, no snaggle teeth in here. Whoop, 180 degrees, following the line, straight. If it's straight there, it should also be straight. Whoop, broop. See that? Straight. Now, moving forward, you do the same thing. Shave off a piece of that. That's your new guide. It's traveling, making a pizza slice over here. I'm just gonna buzz through this really quickly and we'll move on to the front. Once the back two quads are complete and you've cross-checked everything, we're gonna move on to the front two quads. Now we're taking vertical subsections. On the diagram, here's our parting, our four quad part line. In the back, remember we were having a pizza party. Woo, woo. In the front, we're getting serious with a vertical line. Boom, boom, boom. We're still cutting at a 180, which means a square. This is a square if you connect the dots. Square haircut, 180 degrees, but now it's vertical lines. So remember, pizza party in the back, serious vertical in the front. Our guide can come from the apex here. That very first cut, we can, whoop, there you go. So we don't need all of this. So sectioning looks like this. Boom, vertical. From pizzas to verticals. Kind of like going from Pizza Hut, the triangles, to Jet's Pizza. Y'all ever had that? Whew. I mean, they're more like squares, but whatever. Jet's Pizza. Whew. Maximum tension using the fine teeth of my comb at a 180. Looking for my guide. Where is it? It's in the middle of the apex. See that? Right here. I'm following that guide straight. 180, so it's making a square, making a square. Cut. Should be straight. Now again, if you have hair that's dropping out, let it drop out because this is your length. See how it's short, going to long. Same thing we did in the back to find our guide. Cut that in half, what we just cut. This can now go live in the back, doing vertical subsections. Okay, if that was a real person, I would not be clipping in her head, in her face. She's probably like on Snapchat talking to her 300 boyfriends, you know what I mean? So she needs her eyeballs. Same thing, and at the front, you can usually grab all the hair. You don't have to cut it in half, not unless you're just not feeling confident, cut it in half. All the way up, let me move you down, sis. Looking for my guide, where are you? There you are. Taking your time, especially if this is your first time. It can be scary to over direct the hair this much and kind of cut it off because it looks like you're cutting off the whole, all their hair. But really, again, because you've over directed it, moved it out of its home, when you release it, long, going to short. Because I cut mine pretty short, this is gonna be a mullet. But take your time, especially if you're in school. The sign says beauty school. This isn't salon, this is school. So prepare to be here for a minute. And that's not your fault, you're learning, that's their fault. Shame on them. If you're in a hurry, you're at the wrong place. Moving forward, cut this in half. Vertical piece, clip this back. Making sure my client's straight. She's not. No legs crossed, no looking down. Combing at a 180, maximum tension, parallel to the floor, to the ceiling, whatever. There's my guide. Cutting straight, 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 horizontal. If I cut it this way, I'm checking it this way. Perfect. Vertical. No snags at the root area. There's my guide. Checking it. Last piece, cut this in half. Just have this little tip here. There's my guide. Missed a piece, see it? Whoop. It's a face framing layer, short to long. Now, if you cut it this short, you can see how this is kind of boxy. Do you see that? It is a little boxy. We can refine that at the end, go through and point cut, which is just using the tip of the shear. Hair cutting is cutting your basic shape. What is your length? Basic shape, 0 degrees. Going through, layering, in this case, 180 square layers. And then cutting it again, refining it, taking it out, making this a little softer, less boxy, keeping the shape of it, but just kind of manipulating it a little bit. I don't like it that square, especially if my client has a square face. She doesn't need square layers. We need to round that up a bit. But there are no rules in hair cutting. You could do square layers in the back, round layers in the front, or vice versa. You can do anything. So now when you move on to the other side, you're again making sure it's consistently wet. You're taking your guide from the apex. Remember, this thing will spread out like an octopus with tentacles. You're using all the tentacles. It goes around and around and around. You have a guide everywhere. We're at the front, so we're now doing Jet's Pizza, vertical. Whoa, clip that away. 180 degrees, boop, up towards the ceiling. Finding my guide. I don't see it, it's somewhere in the middle. There's my guide right there. Ceiling's here, finger position here, shears here. Everything matches. Straight, 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 cutting, straight. Hair is up, not here. That's what we did last time, 90 degrees. Now we're at 180. Square, last time we did round. Cut it this way, checking it that way. Beautiful. I'm gonna quickly finish this. And this is driving me crazy. I'm just gonna go through and 0 degrees cut this probably right there. And I'm just doing it in one section because it's very straggly and thin at the bottom. but take a look at it from the side again. Short, going to long. Here she is. This side, I just did a round brush blowout, and this side, I did a quick wave with a flat iron. And I cut mine way shorter than I normally would so you could see, but you can see how the layers are starting and it feathers down and eventually it drops off with weight. If you cut it short like this, you're also gonna have a face framing bang that probably could use a little bit of blending. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for joining me here in my bathroom. Don't forget about the free guides on my website. Next Sunday, I'm gonna see you for my really serious series I'm working on. Super serious, it's not. So join me for that. Until then, I will see you next time for something cool. Something